Now your forecast first.
Sponsored by ESL Federal Credit Union.
Waking up here on this Thursday morning to a rather brisk breeze, lots of clouds. Check out your forecast first. Temperatures not as low as yesterday, but the wind is going to make it feel colder. We're tracking the possibility of some lake effect snow. We'll discuss that more in my forecast.
Also ahead, the two children abducted from their foster home in Greece have been safely recovered. Plus, a helicopter crash in Mendon has left 3 National Guard soldiers dead.
From the team you can trust. This is News 8 at Sunrise.
And good morning on this Thursday. Thanks for getting up with us. Lia is off today. All those headlines coming up in a moment. First, though, right back to Josh for a check of the forecast. Less snow today, Josh, but still that biting cold. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Mark. Definitely a biting chill in the air here. Good morning to you. You definitely don't want to be deceived by the alone by the thermometer, because once you step out the door, you're going to notice it's going to feel a lot colder than what you see here. Look at some of the numbers right now.
And more, so getting right to work in Washington.
And they had a few flurries there, too.
You know what they did? They referenced that during the inauguration as well, Josh. And I misspoke. I said no snow this morning, at least right here outside the station, no snow. But yeah, you say there are flurries in the area.
Some very, very light flurries. Nothing more than ornamental at this point. But that could change, especially by tomorrow. I want to get you ready to go, though, here for your Thursday, 5:02 a.m. Look at those wind chills. Yeah, that is a biting brand of chill. Feels like 14 right now in Rochester, 7 in Ithaca. We'll talk about how long that kind of wind chill lasts, and we'll talk about the lake effect coming our way in my forecast.
Josh, thank you. Also ahead in our Health Watch, it's a new study on the effects of antidepressants, plus the COVID risk for cancer survivors.
You're watching News 8, the team you can trust. Mark Gruba, Lia Lando, and meteorologist Josh Nichols. You're watching News 8 at Sunrise. You're watching News 8.
1 in 5 teenagers suffering from a mental health disorder like depression or anxiety. Chris Martinez has more.
Now your forecast first.
Sponsored by ESL Federal Credit Union.
Good afternoon here at the lunch hour, dealing with some lake effect flakiness still, and of course the coldest air of the season. Arctic air has made its way into Rochester. We'll let you know how long it lasts and how many lake flakes will fall in my forecast.
Also ahead, new hopes on the vaccine front as another company looks for FDA approval. And Governor Cuomo looking toward the future of testing and vaccine supply.
From the team you can trust. This is News 8 at noon.
Well, good afternoon. The bitter cold air is the big story on this Friday, sweeping the region. Some snow flurries as well. Josh Nichols standing by with a look at how long this cold air is going to last into the weekend. Josh, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mark. Yeah, it's not the sheer amount of snow. It's the persistence of this lake effect snow that's going to have you taking notice, in conjunction with the coldest air of the season today.
Still ahead here at noon, how local shelters are helping those in need on these bitterly cold days.
You're watching News 8, the team you can trust. Mark Gruba and meteorologist Josh Nichols. You're watching News 8 at noon. You're watching News 8 on WROC.
And welcome back to News 8 at noon. We want to take you live to Geneseo at this hour, where a memorial service for Christian Koch, one of the fallen National Guard soldiers in that helicopter crash, wrapping up at the National Warplane Museum.
Now your forecast first.
Sponsored by ESL Federal Credit Union.
It has been a cold day. Temperatures even at this hour still way below freezing. We're only 22 degrees in Rochester. You got some teens showing up across parts of the southern tier. Cold night headed our way here tonight before we gradually warm this back up going into tomorrow. Very little in the way of rain or snow for the next 24 hours. That will again be changing on us though from there.
Also ahead, 2 children still missing today. Police continue to ask for help in finding them. And
I took the first appointment I could get, which was this morning.
a mad dash to get the COVID vaccine as a new vaccination center opens today. Plus,
I, Joseph Robinette Biden Jr., do solemnly swear.
The nation's 46th president is sworn in just hours ago, the latest from the Capitol.
From the team you can trust. This is News 8 First at 4.
A live look at the White House, where the president took the oath of office just before noon on January 20th. Joseph R. Biden was officially sworn into the highest office in the country, and it's been a day filled with ceremony. Good evening. As Natalie Brand reports from Capitol Hill, President Joseph Biden called for unity moments after being sworn in on February 8th. Still ahead on News 8 First to 4, getting a little bit closer to the Bills and Chiefs AFC Championship showdown right here. Look, we got you counting down to the very second. Also ahead, the Bills' winning streak is giving fans something to cheer for in a tough year. What that does for one's mental health. Next.
You're watching News 8, the team you can trust. John Kucko and Chief Meteorologist Eric Snidel. You're watching News 8, First at 4.
And now we join our regularly scheduled program already in progress.
God bless America.
Now your forecast first.
Sponsored by ESL Federal Credit Union.
Lake effect snow showers have quieted down a bit this evening, at least across the Rochester area. Sun going down. These numbers are going down too. We're already down to 22 in Rochester. Probably lose a few degrees here into the evening. But look at this trend. We're warming up tomorrow. One day that I think we end up breaking freezing over the course of the next week. And boy, we're going to really notice a difference once we get out of that peak.
From the team you can trust. This is News 8 at 5.
Good evening, everyone. The 46th President of the United States. Today, Joseph R. Biden took the oath of office and assumed that role alongside the new Vice President, Kamala Harris.
Biden delivered a speech aimed at unifying the nation in the same place that just 2 weeks ago was attacked by insurrectionists. Rashad Hudson has the latest from Washington.
So help me God.
On the steps of the nation's capital, Joe Biden took the oath of office to become the nation's 46th president.
In Rochester, Kayla Green, News 8.
All right, Kayla, thank you. Coming up next on News 8 at 5, some locals celebrating the boundary-breaking inauguration of Vice President Kamala Harris, the connection one group shares with the new VP. As we head to break, let's take a look outside through our sky eye. A lot of white out there. Winter is here. What it plans to bring to the party, Eric has that coming up.
You're watching News 8, the team you can trust. Adam Chodak, Maureen McGuire, Chief Meteorologist Eric Snidel. You're watching News 8 at 5. Now your forecast first.
Sponsored by ESL Federal Credit Union.
Nightfall is upon us, but at least the weather's quiet. We've lost a lot of the snow showers across the area. There's still a few flakes, but this is mainly our big weather headline tonight. Just cold air, 22 degrees in Rochester. We're going up, interestingly enough, as we go through the course of the night. We will break freezing tomorrow. One time, one day, folks. Big changes set to arrive from there.
From the team you can trust. This is News 8 at 5:30.
Welcome back, everyone. Our top story today, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have been sworn in as the 46th President of the United States. And, of course, Kamala Harris sworn in as Vice President of the United States.
Today's historic inauguration was also a national security event, contending with both pandemic and the possibility of protest. Michael George reports.
From Brockport, Christian Garzone, News 8.
All right, Christian, for all the latest on COVID-19, both in our area and beyond, make sure you log on to our website, rochesterfirst.com. Coming up next, the transformation from small-town kid to big-time star. The story of Buffalo's beloved quarterback, Josh Allen.
And as we head to break, let's check out this shot from our live sky eye while we wonder how much snow is coming. The real story might be how much we shiver while out in that snow.
You're watching News 8, the team you can trust. Adam Chodak, Maureen McGuire, Chief Meteorologist Eric Snidel. You're watching News 8 at 5:30. Now your forecast first.
Sponsored by ESL Federal Credit Union.
It's cold, really cold, especially considering how mild we have been recently. 22 in Rochester at this hour. We don't have that much snow anymore. Probably don't have that much for the next 24 hours, if I'm being honest with you. We're going to break freezing tomorrow. Warmer day. You get one of these guys. After tomorrow, there's a long stretch of Arctic air headed our way.
Also ahead, the pressure is building in the lead up to the big AFC Championship game. Bills, the Chiefs, fans desperate to know if Patrick Mahomes will play. What we heard today, but first.
I will be a president for all Americans. All Americans.
The latest from the U.S. Capitol after the nation's 46th president is sworn into office.
From the team you can trust. This is News 8 at 6.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight we have a new president, and this is a live look out over the Washington, D.C. skyline this evening as inauguration festivities carry on into the night.
President Joe Biden was sworn in alongside Vice President Kamala Harris, who made history as the first woman, the first black person, and first person of South Asian descent to become vice president. As part of inauguration tradition, Biden addressed the nation speaking at the Capitol just 2 weeks after protesters stormed that very building. The 46th president said unity is the only path forward.
My whole soul is in this.
Hey, a reminder, the Bills are going to take on the Kansas City Chiefs this Sunday at 6:40 p.m. That's kickoff, so tune into News 8 for that. The winner of the game will head to Tampa for Super Bowl 55. Much more on the game coming up in sports. And coming up next here on News 8 at 6, how local vaccination sites are trying to keep up with the huge demand for COVID-19 vaccines.
You're watching News 8, the team you can trust. Adam Chodak, Maureen McGuire, Chief Meteorologist Eric Snidel, and Sports Director Thad Brown. You're watching News 8 at 6. Now your forecast first.
Sponsored by ESL Federal Credit Union.
Well, what do you know? It is snowing again across Rochester tonight. This is still mainly light, but I think it'll give you just enough for a fresh coating of white by the time you wake up in the morning. That's likely not the big story. This is. Temperatures already down to 22 in town. We are destined for the teens. I think the temperature tomorrow morning is about the same temperature into the afternoon, and it will then drop again further from there. We're going to track how cold those wind chills get coming up.
He has really done nothing to increase our business. This doesn't help us.
Also ahead, orange and yellow zone restrictions are halted across the region, but tonight at 11, some business owners say that's simply not enough.
And we always do a fireball shot. That's the big thing.
Plus shots of whiskey at a local nursing home. Tonight, the incredible story behind this.
From the team you can trust. This is News 8 at 11.
Good evening, everyone. Adam is off tonight. There is a growing call tonight to help restaurants and bars survive the financial fallout of the pandemic. Because COVID-19 cases are going down today, the Governor Cuomo lifted orange and yellow zone restrictions in Monroe County and across the state. Happy birthday, Nancy, from everybody here at News 8. Coming up later, a Homeland Security alert following the Capitol riots, how Washington is preparing for another potential threat.
You're watching News 8, the team you can trust. Adam Chodak, Maureen McGuire, Chief Meteorologist Eric Snidel, and Sports Director Thad Brown. You're watching News 8 at 11. Live from the WROC studios, this is breaking news from News 8.
Good evening. We have two major breaking stories tonight. First, the two children who were abducted from their foster home in Greece have been found safe. Police tell us how they tracked them down to Alabama. But first,
we lost 3 great Americans today in the service of our country.
That breaking news, 3 soldiers from our area are dead after a National Guard helicopter crashes in Monroe County. Good evening to all of you. News 8 is on scene right now of a fatal Black Hawk helicopter that went down in Mendon.
3 New York Army National Guard soldiers were killed. Their helicopter, based out of Rochester, went down around 6:30 tonight off West Bloomfield Road near Cheese Factory Road in Mendon. Jack Watson has been there this evening following the investigation. Jack, what do we know now?
That's right, Maureen. Officials confirming that 3 American soldiers have died in that helicopter crash tonight. The Monroe County Sheriff tonight addressing the media with a heavy heart. We will hear from him in a few moments, but first, the latest details we know at this hour.